Welcome back, everyone. In part 1, we talked about why poverty exists, how it's maintained, and why it matters. But today, we're diving into some of the hard-hitting questions that came up last time. Let's tackle them head-on, because the truth is, understanding these questions is key to creating real change. Why does poverty still exist despite massive economic growth? First, let's face the facts. We live in a world of unbelievable wealth, yet poverty persists. Why? Because economic growth doesn't always trickle down to the poorest. Systems and policies often keep the wealth concentrated at the top. As economies grow, the rich get richer, while the poor are left behind due to systemic inequality, low wages, and lack of access to opportunities. Economic growth isn't enough. It has to be inclusive to make a real impact on poverty. If the world has enough resources, why aren't they distributed fairly? The short answer? Greed and systemic injustice. There's more than enough wealth, food and resources to go around. But those in power, corporations, governments and the wealthiest individuals control the resources, and they benefit from keeping the status quo. Resource distribution is often about power rather than need, which leads to inequality. Why do wages stay low while corporate profits and CEO salaries rise? This is a huge issue, and it's about the way economic systems are structured. Many corporations prioritize maximizing profits over paying fair wages. CEOs and executives are paid in the millions, while workers who keep the company running often struggle to make ends meet. This is driven by the desire for profit maximization and the power imbalances within most companies and industries. Workers' voices are often ignored in favor of protecting corporate interests, keeping the wage gap wide. Why do countries spend more on war than on solving poverty? This is a painful truth, but it's about prioritizing military power over human well-being. Countries around the world spend billions on defense, while poverty, hunger, and healthcare needs go unmet. Governments and military-industrial complexes often receive more funding than essential social programs. The focus on defense, rather than poverty reduction, shows that the people in power often prioritize control and power over uplifting their citizens. Why are poor or regular people penalized for working or saving money on benefits? This is a deeply unjust system that traps people in poverty cycles. In many places, if you're on benefits and you try to work or save, you can lose your benefits or face penalties. This systemic issue discourages people from trying to improve their situation, keeping them dependent on the system. The system doesn't support people trying to get out of poverty. It punishes them for attempting to improve their lives, keeping them stuck. Reform is essential to create a fair system that truly helps people escape poverty and build better futures. Why do the richest pay little to no taxes while regular people carry the burden? This is where we see the rigged system at play. The wealthiest individuals and corporations often have loopholes and legal means to avoid paying taxes, leaving the burden on regular people. Wealthy people can afford expensive tax advisors and loopholes, while everyday people pay a significant portion of their income in taxes. This inequality is a huge driver of systemic poverty, as it means the wealth is never shared fairly across society. Those were some of the biggest questions from part 1. Now that we've answered them, let's explore what we can do about it. Stay tuned for the next video, where we'll uncover solutions and explore how we can all play a part in ending poverty.